everyone, Chanel here. So we are on day 20 of our 4-month Bible reading plan. Today we'll be looking at Numbers chapters 17 through 23 and Mark chapters 11 and 12. So here are our chapter summaries, and we'll be back in a little bit with thoughts and key takeaways.
One of my takeaways comes from Mark 11:15 to 18. When Jesus entered the temple and saw what was going on, he flipped. He began overturning heavy wooden tables, scattering coins across the stone floor, knocking over chairs, and even blocking people from using the temple as a shortcut. Why was Jesus so angry? Why did he respond with such force? Couldn't he have just calmly asked them to leave? To understand his response, we have to look at what was actually happening in Jerusalem during Passover. This wasn't a temper tantrum, it was righteous indignation. The temple was meant to be a sacred place to connect with God, but the religious leaders had turned it into a noisy, greedy marketplace. First, the money changers were exploiting the people. During Passover, Jewish pilgrims traveled from all over the Roman Empire. By law, they had to pay a temple tax and offer sacrifices. However, they brought foreign currency featuring pagan images, which the temple would not accept. So the money changers exchanged it for temple currency, but at unfair, inflated rates, taking advantage of those who had come to worship. On top of that, if travelers brought their own animals for sacrifice, temple inspectors would often claim they were blemished and reject them. This forced the people to purchase pre-approved animals inside the temple at much higher prices. This is why Jesus quotes Jeremiah 7:11, calling the temple a den of thieves. He was confronting a system that had turned worship into a business and exploited sincere, devout people. Second, they were blocking access to God. All of this buying and selling took place in the court of the Gentiles, the only area where non-Jews were allowed to come and pray. By filling this space with animals, merchants, and constant noise, they completely disrupted the only place set aside for outsiders to seek God. Jesus highlights this by quoting Isaiah 56:7. My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations. His anger was directed at a system that prioritized profit over its purpose. The passage ends with a sobering response. The chief priests and the teachers of the law began looking for a way to kill him. Why would they react this way? You would think they would agree with him. But Jesus wasn't just correcting behavior, he was confronting their entire system. By shutting down the marketplace, he exposed corruption and challenged their authority. He was declaring that what they had built was no longer honoring God. Now, what exactly is righteous indignation, and how does it apply to us today? Righteous indignation is not uncontrolled anger. It is a just and holy response to sin, injustice, and anything that dishonors God. We see it clearly here. Jesus wasn't losing his temper. He was expressing a pure zeal for God's holiness. As modern-day Christians, we are called to follow his example. That means we speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable. We stand for what is right, defend against injustice, and call sin what it is without compromise. But there is a balance we must hold. Too little indignation, and we become tolerant of sin. Too much uncontrolled anger, and we misrepresent Christ. The goal is holy balance, a heart that burns for righteousness, yet is still marked by grace, humility, and love. Righteous indignation should look like Christ, hating sin deeply, loving people genuinely, and responding with truth and self-control. Being right not just in what we say, but in the spirit we say it in. Because in the end, it's not just about being right, it's about representing him rightly. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and study the Word with us today. We truly pray that something shared has encouraged your heart and strengthened your walk with God. As you go forward, we challenge you to live a life marked by righteous indignation, not a life of anger, but a life that refuses to be silent in the face of sin, injustice, and anything that dishonors God. Stand firm in truth, walk in love, stay humble in spirit, and let your life reflect both the holiness and the grace of Christ in everything you do. God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow.